How's it going, everybody? So, let's make a quick video on showing you guys what morning chores look like in the winter. So, the winter here, it gets really cold. We don't usually get a whole lot of snow, but you know, it's too cold to actually grow anything. I've tried. It doesn't work. So, the chores are a little easier in the winter. Now, for starters, you got the rabbits. Now, right now, I have a whole lot of babies, and all of those babies get really hungry. I've actually got quite a few that are starting to eat normal food, or they've been eating normal food for a bit. So, these ones here, these ones are fully grown. I still need to do something better with that, but that works, and I haven't had any losses since I took the hey, Scooch, over here. Let's go over here. Hey. Since I went through and took the babies, or the little babies, and stopped using this as a breeder, this one has not suffered any losses. I gotta come back later and fill up their water. And then I go this way. There's a bear skull that my little brother found when he was out hiking. It's pretty cool. And I gotta, well, what I do is I feed, or fill their feeder last. But you see lots and lots of baby rabbits. They're all hanging out, chilling around. And there's these guys. These guys are about the age where they're going to be coming up for sale. And if the weather agrees, I'm going to take them and try to sell them on Saturday. This is all the chickens. They're gonna come out here soon. Go on. Go. Shoot. It is good. And I go through, start filling up these guys with feeders. Now with these guys, they go through their food at different rates. Now these are Oh, this cage over here, that one, those ones are bull rabbits that are ready to be sold as pets. Or if somebody wanted to start up a breeding operation, I could sell them that way. And if I don't sell them, they get to a certain size, they turn into food. They're not there yet. This one here, that one's Roosevelt. Now, you see right there. Hey. You know, Roosevelt is missing a leg. He got attacked by something that was reaching in. I actually thought he was dead for a while. But I can't sell him, and my dad has adopted him as a pet. And he's what I like to call one of the teddy bears. It's just coloration. Personally, I think that color is kind of cute on a rabbit. So, you know, his water is is empty at the moment. And this one is the father to most of the babies. I traded him out so that I can get the other male doing some work. He's actually the father of those ones. So, that's the inside. I'm not going to pull the camera in here because they'll eat my tripod. So, that's them wanting food in their feeder. Hey guys, scooch, 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 scooch. Scooch. Back up, back. Come on. Now there's a latch on the inside of this. Hey, move. And I made this feeder myself. It's just a piece of pipe, some food ties. It holds quite a bit of food. And with all the babies, hey, don't eat my shoes. With all the babies that we got that are weaned, it's starting to empty out pretty quick. It's not a huge deal if I spill some food in here, because if I spill food in here, they'll still dig through it and eat it. Hey. That's an entire 5-gallon bucket of food done. Well, that's the rabbit's food done. And there's water. Before I do the water, I put the bucket away because I will forget, and you don't want to go searching for the bucket when the coffee hasn't quite kicked in yet. So, bucket goes back in here. And with the weather being so cold, I go through, grab, 3 or 4 jugs. Now, most mornings 3 jugs is plenty. It's kind of hard to do this with a camera because I only got 2 hands. It's actually really cold today. It doesn't look it, but it's pretty cold. I have to keep an eye on the battery for my camera because batteries and cold don't exactly get along. So, come over to this side of the house, down over there. I got 2 spigots. One's hot water, one's cold. So I think today, with how much they've drank, I looked when I was filling up feeders. I think 3 jugs will be fine. I might be wrong. Just grab the 4th one. That's not a big deal. But going through and filling with hot water, that way any ice in the jugs will melt. Almost there. Okay. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Okay. Now it's back over there. This is a whole lot harder to do one-handed, but it's possible. Now, these guys, they get one big water. They'll empty that out by the end of the day. And I'll come through later and shut that. So I still have about 2.5 gallons. Every once in a while I have days where there's a whole lot of guys that have run out of water. Those days, I do up to 5 of the 1-gallon jugs, and then I have a 5-gallon jug that sometimes needs to be filled. And on exceptional days, I go and give the goats 20 gallons of water. I do hot water for them too, because the hot water helps with thawing out the ice. And I put the jugs up there, so when I'm filling up their waters, there's something where it's easier to grab a hold of. I like these big jug waters because you fill up one and you've got quite a bit of water. And these big jugs aren't as likely to freeze solid, which these little bottles can if you've got cold enough weather. I drank quite a bit of this one before it froze, but it still froze. You know, it would be nice to have hot water run out here, but it would also be expensive to do, and a little bit of extra work in the winter isn't that big of a deal. So, oh, and when the water bottles that come with these break, they thread right onto smart water bottles. Sometimes the smart water bottles are even bigger, so. And they fit into the same holders that hold the littler bottles. So when they break, I just replace them with smart water bottles. I don't think smart water knows that they can do that, but you know, it works. Also, if you're used to like really good quality well water, smart water is not that bad. Not endorsed by Smart Water, just saying. You know, my sister just showed up with her kids, so dogs are going nuts. You take one. Start watering these guys. Now, this cage goes empty every day. This guy, he goes empty once every 2 or 3 days. I don't usually let him go completely empty though. Now, my 2 males in the corner there, those guys, I'm actually thinking about trying to sell. Both proven males. But I don't really need, well, that one I don't need at all. He's a sibling to the white females that I've got, so can't exactly use him to breed. And the female that he could have bred with died, so I don't really have much use for him. I need to go. Now, sometimes if you've got some surly rabbits, they'll sit there and dump out their water. Trust me, rabbits do know how to dump out their water. Because I know with those guys, a thing of water will last a few days. And I filled him up yesterday. And he's completely empty now. So he probably went and threw a tantrum and emptied it out. He does that sometimes. calm down. Don't be a butt. You're empty too. So take this little bit of water here, fill it up. With the feeders that I've got here, for a single rabbit, they'll last a few days. They'll last up to 3 days with a single rabbit. But with 3 rabbits, like it's in that cage, they last 1 day. They're not starving by the time I come around to feed them, so they're not just demanding food. Fill it up every day, and they're fine. Alright. Now let's go take a look at the goats. So, goats here have been let out. I've been starting to shut them up at night. I need to make something to separate Shastina from the rest of them, because Shastina is a little abusive with the other 4 goats. Don't know exactly why. She's just mean to them. So I've got to figure out a way of separating her from the other ones. Might have to go to the store, pick up some hinges, and make a little separator. But this is the feed area. Now, take a flower pot, planting bucket. Throw some food in there, but I don't want to start straight off with the good stuff because they'll fight over that. So, grab a nice bundle of hay and start walking outside. Now what I'm going to be doing is spreading the food over several different areas. So one flake right there. Spread the food over several different areas so that they have options of where to eat. Shastina there, the big one, she's a little protective over food. So she'll chase people off different food piles. And that's not conducive to everybody else eating and getting bigger. So. No, 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 no. You can't go out. Weirdo. You're being a weirdo. Now they know that the good stuff is coming. So they start making more noise. Because that's the way it works. They get the hay, and then they get the good stuff. and they like this food. It's some goat grower. Oh, it went blue. So the goat grower is, you know, it's like candy to them. 8, 8, 8. Back up, back up. You want the good stuff, right? They will follow the bucket wherever the bucket goes. 8. And they're like piranhas. It's actually kind of funny. You know, if you look behind me. 8, cut it out. I start shaking off on more piles. They start coming. That's why a flower pot is useful. You just want to sprinkle it around. Now, let's give Daffodil her special portion, because if I don't feed her special, or feed her on her own, she won't get as much as she should. Hey! You know what's in the bucket? You know what's in the bucket! Come on! Come on! Come on! Hey, where does the bucket go? See? And for her, I shut her in. Don't latch it, because when she's had enough, she'll open up the door and just come out. Now, the water is frozen. I just filled this up yesterday. So, the water was actually hot enough that it didn't freeze too bad. And there is a point to stirring the water. So, flowing water doesn't freeze. It's the concept of molecular kinetic energy. You know, as I learned in the physics class, molecular kinetic energy is loosely defined as heat. Now, there's a couple of ways of getting molecular kinetic energy. One is adding heat. The other one is making the molecules move. If you mix or start stirring the water or giving it some bubbles and stuff like that, it will actually have the same effect as heating it up. It actually does heat it up a little bit because the molecules are moving faster, so that is heat. Now, Kevin is gone. Oh, not really gone. He's in the freezer. So, his pen, that's going to need to be cleaned out at some point. I don't have to do it now, or terribly soon even, because I don't have a pig and I'm not looking to get one right away. I've got to wait a few months so that we can eat down the freezer. And then we'll go through, get another pig, start raising that one up. It takes about 6 to 8 months for a pig to reach a good slaughter weight. And in that time, we should have the freezer eaten down to a level where we'd have more space to put another pig. Actually, in probably about 4 months, we'll have enough space to put another pig. But they're over there eating, being all quiet. I sit here and I wait. It's nice, sit in the sun, look at some of the things that I need to do. Like I'm going to start working on pulling out these T-posts, pulling down the electric fence. I'm going to be setting it up in a different location here soon. That would be Daffodil saying that she's done. Or she's kind of done. What? What, Daffodil? You can open the door. I talk to the goats. They kind of talk back sometimes. What? Are you done? You done? Yep, you're done. You could open the door, right? Alright, come on. There's still grass and all that other stuff to eat. But another thing I'm going to be working on probably this week is going through and either taking a brush axe or a chainsaw and clearing out the rest of this manzanita. It's got to be chopped down, and anything that has some greenery on it, I'll throw it into the goats. Goats are really good for breaking down organic matter. So throwing it in there, they'll eat the leaves, they'll eat the bark, they'll leave the wood. Wood goes into a burn pile, and turn it into ash. The ash gets mixed into the soil. It adds some trace minerals. What? Shestina's talking to me. But the trace minerals added by the ash helps the soil. I'm going to go through in a couple of weeks and rake this out. The reason why I'm laying it out everywhere and letting it mulch a little bit is I'm hoping that grasses from the seed, or the grass seed that comes on the orchard grass, what I'm feeding them, will disperse and start growing. In some areas you can actually already tell that it's growing up, which is cool. I need to take that down. So that's what the morning chores look like, at least in the winter. In the summer it's different. I've got more stuff to do. But that's it. That's it for this video. If you like this video or liked what I've been doing, put a like in the down there. You could share it with your friends. Maybe they'll like it. Comment. I actually read those. I haven't gotten any in a while, so give me something to read. And subscribe. I have a Instagram. I'm going to put a link to that down there. And I also have a PayPal if you feel like pitching in. So the link to that will be down there as well. That's all I got for today. Y'all have fun. Bye.